Hi, welcome back to part 2 of our educational psychology lecture series today. We are going to delve into the simplified understanding of the various schools of psychology. Okay, today our focus is on the second objective in this lecture series. So, as we focus, we anticipate further sessions where we will explore like theories of psychology, which are derived from different schools of psychology you may know, and after that we will dive into essential topics such as motivation too. So these discussions are deemed important, and I will promise to provide a valuable insight from those. Why schools of psychology came to a topic? Actually, the separation of psychology from philosophy and biology led to the emergence of various schools of psychology, each offering distinct perspectives and methodologies. That means each schools of psychology offers a unique perspectives, approaches, and also theories for explaining human behavior and mental processes. So, familiarity with these schools, you may get to know how to analyze and evaluate different psychological theories and understand the underlying principles that shape of these behaviors or mental processes as well. So, there are seven major schools of psychology. Those are here listed out. First one is structuralism. Second one is functionalism. Third one behavioralism. Fourth one gestal psychology. Fifth one cognitive psychology. Sixth one psychoanalysis, and the last one is humanism. Uh, in this slide, before going to a in-depth exploration of each schools of psychology, I have here mentioned out the main teaching of the each schools of psychology. So please take a look at those. First one is structuralism. Uh, it is about to emphasize in the study of conscious experience, and the functionalism is study of functions of the consciousness, and the third one behaviorism is centered on the study of observable behavior, and the gestal psychology will be addressed on the study of the whole. So after that, cognitive psychology is study of the mental processes, and psychoanalysis investigating the study of unconscious experiences, and the humanism on the other hand is study of human potential, personal growth, and self-actualization. So now we are going to explore each schools of psychology as in a detailed overview. So the first one is structuralism. Structuralism was one of the earliest schools of psychology, and it was founded by William Wooden, and it's aimed to analyze the basic elements of consciousness through a method known as introspection. This approach sought to understand the components of conscious experience by encouraging individuals to observe and examine their own mental and emotional states as well as mental processes. That's what's called introspection. Uh, it's mentioned out in the last bullet. Introspection, often described as looking inward, involves the observation and examination of one's own mental and emotional states as well as mental processes. So, the second bullet emphasizes something like Wilhelm Wundt is a person, actually, a German psychologist, is indeed credited with establishing the first psychology laboratory at the University of Leipzig in 1879. Therefore, he is often referred to as the father of the psychology. Uh, and here I I think you already noted there was some another person here, Edward Titchener. Actually, Edward Titchener also played a significant role in popularizing and expanding upon Wundt's idea. Okay, and contribute to its evolution of the structuralism as a psychological approach. So there will be two pioneers, but the main one is the Wilhelm Wundt. So he is also known as the father of psychology, and he made a first psychological laboratory. And the structuralism is the earliest school of psychology, and its aim to analyze the basic elements of consciousness to a method known as introspection. That's the main idea of this school of psychology. Okay, now we are going to explore about what is functionalism. Functionalism was the second major school in psychology, founded by William James, and it focused on understanding how and why the mind functions, broadening the scope of psychology and applying it to practical settings. This perspective continued to focus on consciousness but also began to examine overt behavior, not just mental process. What it means? It focuses on understanding how the mind functions and adapts to its environment. In this slide, I have simplified what is the functionalism and I highlighted some terms to make you better understanding what is functionalism. So I am going to simplify it more like this. Okay, functionalism, you know who found it? It was founded by William James. It marked a significant development in the field of psychology. Why I am saying like that? Because functionalism aimed to comprehend the functions of the mind and explore the reasons behind them. That's what I mentioned in the second bullet. It focuses on understanding how and why the mind functions. So it explores the mind and the reasons behind it. Okay, so this expanded the scope of psychology, allowing it to be applied into practical real world experience. Why I am saying functionalism broadened its focus beyond just consciousness. Now I know you know what is consciousness. So it's not only focused on consciousness and began to examine overt behavior, emphasizing the importance of understanding how the mind functions and adapt to its environment. Okay, now we are going to explore what is behaviorism. Behaviorism founded by John B. Watson and further developed by Ivan Pavlov and B.F. Skinner. There are three pioneers who is often come with the behaviorism when we talk about behaviorism. So, John B. Watson is often considered as the founder of behaviorism, who emphasized the study of observable behavior as the primary focus of the psychology. So, in the other hand, even Pavlov contributed to behaviorism through his work on classical conditioning. So, who is B.F. Skinner? B.F. Skinner is the one who introduced the concept of operant conditioning. I'm not going to go through all those theories because I will come to those in the next episode. So don't get stressed out. I was just simply going through what they have said. So the next one, what is behaviorism? Actually, behaviorism emphasizes that the behavior is determined by environmental stimuli and focuses on observable behavior rather than internal mental processes. So, what it means? Can I give you one example? So, as a simple example of behaviorism, think about like this. The dog learns to sit when given a command. Okay, so when the dog sits in response to the command, it shows that its behavior is influenced by the training and external factors like treats or pace. It can be happen. So when the command is given, dog is sitting. So it shows that its behavior is influenced with the external stimuli. So, this aligns with the idea of behaviorism, which focuses on how external stimuli shape observable behaviors. So, now understood. So, that's what I wanted to emphasize in the second paragraph. Behaviorism emphasizes that behavior is determined by environmental stimuli and focuses on observable behavior rather than internal mental processes. Prominent theories include classical conditioning, Pavlov, and operant conditioning made by Skinner. So, notable for its application in areas such as education, therapy, and animal training. Okay, now we came up to the Gestalt psychology. Gestalt psychology originated in Germany and Austria in the late 19th and earlier 20th centuries. Gestalt psychology is a school of thought that focuses on how humans perceive and experience the world as a whole, rather than breaking it down into separate elements. This approach was primarily developed by the work of Max Wertheimer, Kurt Kopaka, and the Wolfgang Kohler. Those are the pioneers who involved in the Gestalt psychology. And later on, I have given you some example. Let's see about it. In Gestalt psychology, figure ground perception means that when people look at a picture, they see the main thing first, the figure, and they notice the background, the crowd. For an example, in a picture, they might see a vase first, and then notice the space around it. This shows how people see things as a whole, not just separate parts. Now, I think you get an idea about what is Gestalt psychology. In this psychology, we are addressing how humans perceive and experience the world as a whole, rather than breaking it down into separate elements. Okay, this means that our perception of objects, scales, and experiences is not simply the sum of the individual elements, but rather an organized, meaningful whole. That's what it means. So, the human mind, according to the Gestalt psychology, naturally seeks to organize sensory information into coherent and meaningful patterns, allowing us to perceive the world in a holistic way. Now we come up to the fifth one, cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychology focuses on studying mental processes like perception, attention, memory, and problem solving, emphasizing the importance of internal mental processes in understanding behavior. I have given you an example uh, and I have given you one picture also. It's aligned with the cognitive psychology. How? Let's see. Imagine he is sitting in an examination hall thinking about a complex math problem. Okay, so before he write to solve a math problem, he want to recall the information what he studied. So look at the example I have given. Investigating how individuals process and store information, such as understanding the steps involved in the solving a complex math problem. So, I hope you understand what is cognitive psychology. It focuses on studying mental processes. So, who will be the pioneer? Jean Piaget is a significant pioneer in the field of cognitive psychology, known for his influential work on child development and the theory of cognitive development theory. Sixth one will be psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis developed by Sigmund Freud focus on the unconscious mind and how unconscious process influence behavior. It focuses on how unconscious thought, early childhood experiences, and hidden conflicts can influence our behavior. What it means? I have given you an example. Look at that. Analyzing dreams to uncover hidden meanings and unconscious desires, such as exploring how a recurring dream about falling might reflect feelings of instability or vulnerability. Actually, dreams represent the unconsciousness thought. That's what I want to emphasize here. Psychoanalysis actually focus on the unconscious mind and how unconscious process influence behavior. Now we came up to the last one, humanism. Humanistic psychology such as Abraham Maslow. When it comes to Abraham Maslow, I am remembering he involved in the motivation as a theory. So don't worry, I will look uh, it on the next episode. And okay, when it comes to humanism, there will be two pioneers Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers, who emphasize the human potential, personal growth, and self-actualization. In here, I have highlighted personal growth, self-actualization, and the unique qualities of individuals addressed by the humanism. So, look at the example encouraging individuals to pursue their passions and fulfill their potential, such as supporting a student's exploration of their artistic talent to foster personal fulfillment. That will be an example for an humanism. Thank you and see you next time.